And we're going to map 3. Now, it may feel a little like deja vu here because, well, we've been here before. And I hope that history does not find a way to repeat itself again. Welcome back, folks. Golden Boy here alongside with Mimi and Sean. And I do want to apologize to everyone watching at home. We were watching the game in our comfy setup over here, and I said, you know, guys, I think EG might win this one.
And do you know what round that was?
What round was it?
Round 13.
It's round 13.
It was before a single kill happened on round 13.
It was my fault. I'm really sorry. I want to apologize to the community. I want to apologize to EG fans everywhere. Most importantly, I want to apologize to my homie Potter. I let you down. Yeah, clearly, I'm a jinx. That being said, let's move on, though, to what happened in that game. What led to Leviatán picking up the win? And I think that it's important to note here that this isn't, to me at least, this doesn't feel like the same EG situation we've seen before. I know, but it does feel at the very least that, look at the score lines. We're getting these close, tight-knit games. You just want to see EG close it out, damn it.
You do, but this is what we said last week in two series where they won a map and played a second incredibly close map where they almost 2-0'd. They were so close to coming back into this one.
Actually,
that
right,
last round going slightly differently, they reset the economy, and in both those games, map number 3, they got bowled over by these Brazilian squads, and I'm so afraid that it's going to be the same case again for EG, because once they got into the second half, losing this eco seemed to boom them, because Leviatán took them and just ran away with their attacking side.
Yeah, EG had solutions throughout the second half, but it seemed like none of them were really functional to deal with the things that Leviatán were doing when they took control of B long. I mean, we saw Demon 1 take a lot of those aggressive peaks towards B. Only worked out maybe like once when that missed cascade happened. And then obviously Calm trying to take the hero rifle over there. Things just did not click for EG on that second half. And ultimately, you have to look back at that eco.
It just feels like everyone's trying to make a play. And I know that I go nuts about Leaf and his ability to be a playmaker for the team. But when everyone's trying to make a play, no one makes a play. And I think that that is one thing that has certainly hurt EG in that game.
Yeah, at the start of that one, when Leviatán started building their momentum, I totally agree with you. It seemed like EG was just trying to make these solo plays. And then if one person died doing that, then they panicked and everyone else was like, okay, we need to find an opportunity to get back into this round. But I think the difference between this match and some of the earlier ones is that they did eventually find those solutions. They almost pulled off a comeback. They found some solutions to those B hits right at the very end, but it wasn't enough.
I actually thought, you know, the last round they could have won. Jogamo played his smoke pretty well going into that cove. But like you said, it's just everyone on the team is trying to make their own individual play, hero play to win the round. And he could have maybe broke the cove or harassed from backhaul or just tucked and lived. And that retake would have panned out way differently since they had the first blood that round.
And you contrast that to Split, where in the second half, even after things had gotten out of hand for them, they had a good game plan. They played together. They had structure in their retakes. It's very different. So again, it's echoes of Super Week here for EG.
Yeah, it does feel like history is repeating itself. And I do kind of feel like a broken record here because we're going to talk about Noswer and King. Because again, these guys, they continue to just contribute effectively to this team. They make plays. Kind of what I was talking about, the opposite of EG, but King is that guy, but he's so consistent, Sean, in the clutch, and that's part of the reason why you never have to worry when you see him in a 2v5.
I love it because we get to see, you know, the same comp that Loud runs, except it operates in such a different way when you watch Leviatán play this Pearl map. Their util from Viper and Sky is always so on point, and when you combine it in with the Harbor util, they nail it. Whereas Loud, you know, they're so dominant with Aspas, taking so many lines with his operator. But when you watch Leviatán, it's like, it's gorgeous how they approach some of these sites on Pearl and just how thorough they are at clearing the angles. Like Bala said, the cove bleeds the back site. King's definitely going to check that. They're aware of all the gaps on this map.
Yeah, and where for a team like Loud, a lot of it is off of Aspas on their defense, relying on his op to get them opening kills. For this team, they're so willing to give space, push back in together, be that on the attack or defense side. You see that each one of theirs executes has very distinct phases where they take the front of site, tap the spike, and then they have that second layer to push through. And that kind of methodical gameplay is important against a team like EG that will take those solo plays.
And a good point on that one as well, because, you know, when I see EG, they're not doing that. Their plays don't have have layers. Like there was one play, for example, literally just waiting until it hits like 15 seconds. It's like, throw this. Oh, wait, that didn't work. Run there. Oh, that didn't work. You got to be able to properly combine those abilities together, just like the way that Leviatán does.
Yeah, you're definitely thinking of the scuffed A hit at like 15 seconds left in the round.
Yes.
But even the B hits that EG were doing, they were doing the high tide, so it wrapped all the way around and actually blocked off the hall's entrance for attackers. Now, I do understand why they're doing that. They're clearing out the site first, and they plan on having like a late round clear of the halls. But there's a reason why teams don't do that in the meta on Pro. It's because the map is so attack side. You can get that ground if you space properly and if you use util properly in EG's comp. It's just we did not see that. And so they have all these weird ideas so that way they don't have to use so much utility. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for EG, but very fortunate for Leviatán, because now they find themselves map 3, and we're going to everyone's favorite place, the Heineken 0.0 Ascent. That's right. Sponsors can be, fluid and move around as well. Why not? But yeah.
Heineken 0.0 is a fluid.
Yeah. Oh, Mimi. That's why we pay you the big bucks, truly. Now we're going to Ascent. And in Ascent, there isn't necessarily a lot that you can do as far as like changing things, right? Bringing necessarily like new ideas. You can, obviously, in how you implement some of these compositions. But it does feel as if when it comes down to this map, Mimi, there very much is a way to approach it, a way to play it, and I think Leviatán might have that edge, over EG.
In history, we talked about Leviatán as being like the best Ascent team out there at one point. I think during lock-in and like the end of last year, they were so hyped up on this map because their attack sides are excellent and their retakes on defense especially are as well. And they've looked more human thus far this season, but they're still incredible on this one.
Yeah, like they look human on Ascent, but that doesn't mean they're not going to have like an insane B exec, a mid B, an insane cat split, an A hit. They have the full playbook on this map, and it's just a matter of whether they're on or off or make bad reads in the moment. But they have the playbook to beat anyone on this map.
Leviatán is the team you watch if you want to learn the fundamentals of Ascent. They are fantastic at it. When we were putting together our Premier team, we were stealing all of their strats because they're so damn good at this map. And for EG, they've shown issues in the fundamentals, in the mid rounds, and in third maps thus far, in Super Week. That's what's fallen apart, and I'm afraid it's going to happen again. We'll have to see if they can break that script.
Can Evil Geniuses pull this out and score a massive upset, or will they drop the third map once again? Let's go ahead and send it right back over to your casters. No shenanigans this time. It's Doug and Balla.
I have like trust issues. Now, I don't believe that any throw from him will ever be clean. Balla, we've been here before. Yes. EG have been here before. And yes, there are a couple of questions around Leviatán on Ascent, but I can't help but go back to what Mimi said, what you said a couple of times so succinctly. This feels very similar, unfortunately.
Yeah, it does. I don't know, though. I think Leviatán's been pushed on this map on our newly minted Heineken 0.0 Ascent. And they're starting this attack side. EG, I mean, they're going to need to get off to a hot start. I don't think... I mean, Pearl was pretty good, but it wasn't like a fantastic first half from them.
Right.
And on Split, it was actually a kind of mediocre first half from them. Here they have the opportunity to go for a big swing, and Calm already on the pistol. And playing with the Omen there is really nice. There's a one-way thrown out from Jogamo. And Calm just swinging instantly with a frenzy. It's actually beautiful stuff.
King trying to apply some pressure across the middle of the map, but he's paranoid, has to tuck in order to stay alive. Now he's going to have to deal with a pretty brutal crossfire.
Wow.
He's
dead.
Yeah, he's so dead.
Oh, he jumped the last pulse!
What?
What a beast! I don't know you could do that.
Yeah, I didn't either. What is this?
I was jumping them all.
2.5 years of this game. What have we been doing it wrong? Now I'm wondering how that works. All right, I got to refocus. Got to refocus. Calm gets the second on the round.
Look at the HP on the rest of the Leviatán players. I mean, it is brutal. 22, 14, 78. Barely over 100. And all 5 players from EG up right now. We're looking at a flawless attempt. It's not going to be there.
One suppressed.
You spoke too soon.
Yeah, but now Nozer's down to 26-2. Demon only has a sheriff, though. I mean, if he had a frenzy, he sprays them all down. There's the mollies, though. I mean, you can't get through those with 20 seconds. You just can't. Demon one spots it. And it's honestly over. There's the first.
Yeah. And there's the second. You're absolutely right. 15 seconds left. Shy now going forward. And the Sheriff is doing all right. Just fine in that situation. A pistol round for EG.
The Pistols, I mean, both these teams are known as very strong pistol teams. And the best part about it is they've gone even blow for blow, map after map. But EG, this was super crucial. If they want to get that streak that I'm talking about that they will need on this defensive side, has to start with that. And a really light investment here. No rifles at all from EG.
Playing the long game.
Demon 1 sticks with the Sheriff that he had.
Gotta be careful. You gotta be careful here. If I remember correctly, it was the second half of Pearl that EG won the first pistol, and then Lev just they just destroyed him in the second round. So
hasn't been many ecos, but that one definitely hurt them significantly. EG.
He missed it.
Oh, what a dash! Converts it anyways. Look at that adjustment from Ethan there, throwing the nade up much closer. Beautiful stuff.
Yep, Demon 1 getting in on the action too.
And he fell back and goes in for pop flashes for the players who are rotating in.
One enemy remaining.
I mean, that's just a masterclass on how to play KO up in tree.
Absolutely.
Especially in a dynamic situation where, I mean, Taco dashes on you.
Which
beautiful.
Never feels good to have Jet dashing on you in a situation like that, but well handled, really, from all of EG there.
I mean, a slight difference there. Ethan gets this kill, and I mean, Taco gets this kill, and all of a sudden you're looking at a potential eco round win from Leviatán again. The follow-up flashes are what impressed me the most there, though. Ethan has been such a good supportive flasher, even on roles like Yoru for this team.
That was a deep cut.
That's lock-in. That was like 4 months ago.
It feels like forever.
Yeah, EG's trying to forget Leviatán. Fast anti-bonus here.
Oh, he still got tagged.
Beautiful dart from Calm. But the follow-up dart is just disgusting, too.
Yeah.
The pressure that is applied on those B players is ridiculous by Taco dashing like that.
The deep paranoia to try to get Boostio some room to work, but still not able to leave market. Finally comes out, and he's dropped instantly. So it looks like Leviatán should be able to get through this relatively cleanly, maybe losing one along the way, perhaps another.
Oh, talking about CP! If he throws that smoke a little higher, you definitely have room for a nasty play there, but they were all already flooding on the outside of that switch. What a nice, fast round from Leviatán. And that's what Mimi was talking about. I mean, I know everybody played Premier last night, played Ascent on this map, and everybody was running this comp, but this is how you run it. Those types of executes, difficult to handle. Especially against a Sova, a KJ playing on that site.
Demon 1 has the op. I thought for a second we were heading into a break of some sort, but no. Demon 1 holding the op. B. There's a lot of presence here too. Comm still hanging onto his dart. The shock not clearing out the alarm bot.
Surprising, a lot of teams are realizing how to play that alarm bot. But still teams are throwing the regular shocks to break it. They went on the angle with the op, and they've given up the alarm bot, so they're going to walk through this, thinking that they're going to have time.
Enemy kill.
His positioning is just so good.
I mean, I can't believe they pulled. Oh, he's going for the dash.
Of course he is. It's Demon 1. Not much time left.
Might get
in it
caught on the timing.
He stays.
Wow.
He's put himself into a brutal spot with no exit. No way to get around this.
Good smoke to help Taco get out. But it's actually a gap,
Here.
so...
He spotted that, yeah. You see the pings instantly hitting.
Shaping up to be an A split, and both players on the site right now. Ethan
my bot.
down in dark, jump spotting for the knife. Jogamo on the angle for Cat, but there's a drone coming.
Not getting the tag, but info gathered nonetheless. The paranoia to try to clear out backside is traded from Jogamo instantly. You can see it. Ethan's waiting.
Oh, they're not going to expect Ethan here.
No. Well, Taco may actually.
Spike planted.
And the spray was behind him the entire time.
I wonder if that knife early gave his position up. I think he might have also been able to toss a nade, so maybe they were considering that. Leviatán, all these gun rounds look fantastic. Demon 1 already saving, Calm, and Spawn. And I mean, you kind of wanted them to be able to clap back here if you're looking for that streak again of rounds for EG. And thankfully, they'll save 2 guns. I don't think Leviatán's going to have much success chasing here, given the spacing that they have right now.
Yeah, and how short time is. They should be able to preserve it with no damage dealt whatsoever. So we look towards the next. Tied up at 2 apiece, a couple of weapons carried over from EG, namely the op, well, in the hands of Demon One, who takes one with him. Now take a look at that hit one more time.
Yeah, there was the nade out from Ethan.
Yeah.
And I mean, the darts have been fantastic. Out of Noswer on these executes. I wonder if there's a slight little variations that he's throwing in there that make EG not able to adapt to them.
It's just crazy, too, for as long as the map has been around, as long as this comp has been played on this map, for Noswer to continue to find value on what should be expected from Util is very impressive.
I mean, that's the reason why Leviatán is good. They're able to pressure so much that no matter what dart you're throwing, a lot of times you can get value out of them.
Shadows traveling.
5 here towards A side on the anti-eco. Beautiful flash peek for Taco. And a string of smokes to secure the site.
See some of the spam out from Taco. So careful, so particular in clearing out every single angle, meticulous in his mannerisms. Now the spam down into hell, feeling some of that pressure right back.
Updraft from Demon One. He gets one.
He does.
Excuse me.
Lucio was op too, but he's playing so far up. There goes the op. And there goes Shy. It's all gone down.
They don't.
Taco's weak, but they know where he is now. Can Calm one out the clutch? Time short. Calm not tapping yet. 18 HP, and it's just not enough.
And let me remind you, that was a light investment. Only Demon One and Calm had rifles in that one. But there was the knives too from Demon One. And Leviatán didn't consider that dash. I mean, here's the updraft. He's getting hit by the what?
How did he see him?
That is nasty. Through the bars of the barbed wire.
No way. The kid is gross.
He is so good with the knives. He's good for one every single time. But then the dash follow-up too. He gave up his op to another teammate. 7-2 for the star in the making.
Op back in hand, controlling mid-map. Jogamo feeling some of that early pressure. Instantly Blades offline. And Taco's in a lot of trouble here. He's got to get some help. It's a 1-for-1. Ethan with 2, almost lands the 3rd. And now Demon One has showed up in the labored attempt at the hit.
Nobody's breaking the dart too. He gets a ping. Noswer joining out right now. But that gives up space for Shy to be isolated.
Trying to get the kill. Noswer trying to make a play, and he cannot.
I mean, converting that last round is just so nice from EG.
But also, I mean, really, Ethan's knife
Yes.
stuffed the round. So we were just talking a couple of rounds ago about how good Ethan has been on his supported flashes to set up his players. That knife, I mean, probably won the whole thing.
Yeah, Taco was just completely on an island.
There was no
dashed
way-
out, didn't have any more smokes to put down for himself. And it's funny because it caught him after the dash. Just isolated. They chopped up that hit. Leviatán is going for a lot of fast hits right now. Some bottom mid control, but that's kind of a feint. They're looking to go for a split instantly up into Cat.
Shock Dart clearing the alarm bot. Ethan, this time pushing away. The nade to buy some space as Taco gets up over and above it. They've committed to the ult. That's the spike! What is that? Jogamo with 2, the spike in no man's land. King now on what feels like a suicide mission to get the spike and try to plan it, try to reestablish the situation. Calm the nerves and set things right, but Demon One still has the op perched up in heaven.
Like this from Shy to take the fight in, but the turret gets put up. He's trying to hold that space against the lockdown, but they're going to retake this very easily with Calm. I mean, I don't know if they can even plant here. They're going to try.
My ult's ready.
There's really nowhere for them to tuck. There's nowhere for them to get out. It's just going to be Noswer who's going to survive.
Oh my goodness.
It's just Noswer who's healthy, and all he has is a Spectre. 1 shock dart. Clean shot from Calm. And a round for EG.
Here's that streak starting. A light buy out of Leviatán. And it is a nice attempt to get to 2 remaining players of EG. But they really haven't had to deal with this big op from Demon 1 since that round that EG has swung back in their favor. Because they're going for these fast hits, a lot of times Demon 1 is just on the wrong side of the map. That's not going to last forever. So Leviatán, I mean, they still have things to solve.
You see owner, the head coach of Leviatán, attempting to solve those exact things. Early timeout called, still going to have 1 left. But it's been 3 rounds in a row for EG.
Defense side, Ascent. Scoring really well, especially those A-holds. And I think something that Sean brought up on Split. On that attack side, Leviatán was favoring A side over and over and over, going into Ethan, who was anchoring like a beast. And there it was again on the light buy. It's been multiple gun rounds, and they're just getting owned on the retakes. In some instances, just getting denied entirely. And this was the same issue that we've seen in the past couple of maps. Out of Leviatán on Ascent, on this attack side. You can tell there's strength in their executes. They continue to rely on those grouped hits, those fast hits. Instead of going for map control somewhere where they've shown prowess in the past, it's like an unwillingness of shifting their game plan. Here they have big ults. I mean, lockdown KO is such a nasty combination to get in on the sites. Deny the util from coming down, and then allow the lockdown. And it's looking like the same approach again. There's a deep alarm bot, and that's for Hunter's Fury. King's dead. Taco is top of the box, but that's such a brilliant setup. I mean, wow.
When was the last time you saw an alarm bot there? If it's recent.
Last year.
But I do think the interesting thing here, though, is that now Calm doesn't have the counter to Shy's lockdown.
That is a big point to note. So just 1 kill traded for that. Jogama also goes down off of an A peek from Mazzino. He's the only smoker, and he's willing to take peeks like that. And I think you saw it. Hurt him on Pearl, but was great for him on Split. So how do you find that balancing act? Ethan and Demon 1 are trying to get back up into an early beat setup in the sense of distance here. They're up close and personal. And Shy is definitely trying to get this lockdown down. And they're going to drone it out. So this might not work here for EG. It's a good idea, but the tool's still up.
I don't know that they're going to be expecting. Oh my gosh, they have no idea! Ethan makes a meal out of Leviatán!
Survivors rest. I'll clean up.
I had so many questions for that setup.
I mean, you're starting to see Leviatán in some of these rounds. A team that has been heralded as disciplined over and over now. I mean, I can count 3 or 4 rounds where it's just the corner not checked. It's something in the checklist missed. That's the crazy part about teams with structure. A lot of times it looks really bad when one mistake is made. And that right there is an example of it.
Taco's already dashed through. He's ahead of everything, though, and he's by himself once again. That shock dart's not going to feel good. The second one, a bit wide, but the kill dealt.
1 HP. 1 shot from Nosworth, and he's gone, yep.
Mazzino just took a ton of damage, and then Jogama's on the counter.
Well, this is a very early lockdown.
Yes, it is.
They're using it to peek.
They're just so ahead of it all.
The lockdown is off center, though.
And it's just going to get cleared. Shy's overwhelmed. He's got nothing but a stinger.
There's so many shorties around him, too. EG are on a roll. That's now 5 in a row. They are destroying Leviatán. This is that defense side. This is kind of what you expect a lot of times.
Yep.
Mazzino dry TP'd on top of the switch. That is very bold. And you actually see there, EG is using util to try to break that lockdown that would be placed behind triple, but instead it's off-centered. So that's a nice little thing to do from Leviatán, but it's not quite enough. They're gonna use their own strat against them here. Odin on tiles, and they're gonna flash to try to take out Mazzino. Here's the dart.
Flash the dart a little bit late.
You can't do that against the kings of it. Nobody does that as much as Leviatán.
I'm sure we'll get a look at it here in the second half, too. That shock dart's headed for mid to attempt to clear the alarm, but that's not there.
It is deeper. It is deeper to adjust for how Boostio's been placing it. Calm just re-cleared mid with that drone. It's a lean towards A right now. They're doing it because they have some key. Retake ult, I mean, in the sense that they have Ethan's no command. But they could give up sight right now. There's alarm bot molly to delay them.
The thing is, you wonder if they're going to see this alarm bot. No confirmation that it was cleared mid. Yeah, there it is. Nano popped instantly, but Taco ahead again. Lucio trying to jump over it. Stays alive.
Taco got spam switch though.
30 seconds left.
So all of a sudden, I mean, there's the ult pop from Ethan. They can't get one ways down. They can't get paranoias down. And they are holding B main. They're holding stairs. They're trying to fight as this approach comes through.
Even dashing across, trying to establish some presence.
Oh.
Dino's been spotted. He's spammed. He's
You gotta
dropped.
break that.
Yeah. That's just so tough. Now as we're trying to sidestep the paranoia. And it's just King. Sees them all. And drops none of them.
His retakes are just beautiful. And the funny part is that Taco, if he does his normal dash path, which is down lane with the dart to try to like get a dart kill, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's totally fine. Common's not able to spam him. And all of a sudden you're looking at a 5v5 retake where they have Sova ult, they have potentially even more space in B main.
Turret out.
Leviatán's not finding anything since winning that anti-bonus and allowing that save out from Demon 1 and Calm early on in this half. I mean, they need to bring this back. They're going for a Stinger Force. They need to bring this back here and now. Odds are not in their favor, but they need it.
Taco going up. Taco going above. Just trying to hold this angle. Does he know?
Oh, the dart! It hit him! Boostio just comes back off of stairs and it's all crumbling again.
One enemy remaining.
Wow!
Spike down B.
Okay, he stuck that.
I mean,
I thought he was TPing backside. This is brutal. Demon 1 on the angle right now. Neither player knows how close to destruction they are.
looks like it's going to be a save out here. Really, no other option. Well, putting one between the eyes of Boostio certainly helps.
You got to just try this. You're getting a bye next round. It's the last round of the half. You just got to try this.
It's going to be a 1v4. The angle is just too much.
Last
EG
round in the half.
with a dominant half. A possibility of going 10-2.
That's a second timeout from Lev.
Owner has gone for this multiple times, and I mean, not only is this honestly a must-win round, but mentally you've got to get the team back involved. And it's funny because Owner's going to get a chance to talk at halftime with his team. He's going for this to get this last round, and he's not going to have that opportunity for the rest of this comeback. If there is even that on the cards.
It's an interesting decision from the head coach. We'll see if it pays off.
Leviatán are in a, I mean, this is, in all cases, an unlosable series. It's not mathematically going to put them out of playoff contention by any means, but this is their easiest game out of the next few. I mean, not their easiest. They have Crew coming up as well, who still remain winless. But they have Cloud9 and Loud as their last two.
That's brutal.
Losing this one, I mean, definitely puts them somewhat at risk here.
A daunting prospect.
They should have been competing for one of the top seeds. Instead,
Placing sentry.
I mean, depending how this game goes, they might be fighting for their lives. America's League is chaos in the standings, especially if this game goes in favor of EG, which it very well looks like it will. 9-2, a chance for a 10-2.
Look at Calm, dude. Just dry walks out. And he's gonna get some info. Oh, okay, he spotted one. Man, that's just so bold. And he's gonna repeat this off the flash. Shy down to 30 HP.
There's that Ethan support again. The flash through the window.
Recalling my bot.
Such a nice aggressive piece, and they've swapped the KJ over. Denying the mid pressure, too, is, I mean, Leviatán have been focused on that B side for a couple rounds now, and it looks like they might go for a little fake here. Mazzino has his ult.
He's the only one with that here in the last round of the half.
Flashbang.
Flash, the paranoia. Are there rotates? They're starting to move a little. Get a little restless. But they hold the line for now. Oh, back sight. Nothing spotted.
I mean...
Oh, the timing from Jogamo is gorgeous.
That is just...
Read him like a book. A nade in the lap of Shy. But a kill out for Taco. Now time short. They've gotten a couple of kills, but they haven't cleared back sight. And Jogamo's so weak.
Yeah, Jogamo's... That smoke is going to fade. So Ethan goes out of it, and they get mollied down. Ethan, alone on the side.
Can he anchor it again?
Player
No.
standing.
This time he falls. It would be a Demon 1, 1v3 to close
10
out the
seconds
half, wouldn't it?
Spike
Or an
planted.
attempt at one. Dash. Gone. So much to figure out. He's still got one. He got his. But a 9-3 half for EG.
That is unbelievable that we get that. That we're even on a third map in the first place in this series. This should have been, by all meaning,
Seconds left.
this should have been a clean series out from Leviatán.
Oh, I think
Instead,
that's what everyone expected, yeah.
they're getting bashed on this last map. I mean, what a shift in expectations.
Sean is actually standing by to give us a little knowledge. Teach us a thing or two at the telestrator wall.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna teach you guys something, but honestly, this is such a blowout for EG. This round I'm gonna talk about is gonna show how good Leviatán's attack side was early in this game, and you'll recognize all the adaptations EG ends up doing. So right off the bat, we're gonna take a look at the mini-map, and what you're gonna notice is a KO knife coming into market and a Sova dart coming into mid, and together that will help these two players control this middle of the map, put a lot of pressure there. It will open things up a little bit for Killjoy here at B, and then simultaneously we're gonna get the lurk coming in A. So as we roll the clip, you can see the round is gonna progress, and the Jet and the KO get mid control, and when they come up to this point, this is a pivotal point in the round. And at the top level, what you're often gonna see is the Jet will cloud burst this area of mid right here. The KO will flash into market, and that opens things up for the Jet. Now, what you wanna pay attention to is Demon's insane off angle right here. His ability to dodge the flash, get the kill, back out. But from this 4-on-5, it is still insanely hard for EG because of the pressure that is going on this B side of the map. You can see actually the Killjoy breaking the turret, which is gonna cause Boostio to feel the pressure of a market split coming in. It's a lot of misdirection coming out of Leviatán at the start of the round, but really this is all going to end as a cat play. So as the Jet realizes she's trapped, she's asking for a smoke from the Omen at Wine, gets the smoke, and that's when the regroup happens. They go up cat, and look at the spacing, it's perfect. The dart comes in, forces the Omen to TP, the Omen will then get spammed, and then the spacing coming up Gen, the Omen TPs into Gen, the turret on the top, absolutely flawless take care from Leviatán, and this was actually the last true gun round they won. Now, my question to you guys, Paula and Doug, is can EG pull this off? Can they bounce back, get some of these rounds for themselves, or will they have to get scrappy rounds? I think this can be the moment where EG finally takes a map 3. Back to you guys, Paula and Doug.
I mean, it's an interesting question because this is such a massive lead, and you're looking at Leviatán trying to attempt the same type of solid holds, and EG, the solid approaches on the attack.
Well done on not answering the question.
I didn't even hear the question, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure what Sean said was nice. I'm sure it was a solid question. But we have so many to answer. I mean, I'm overwhelmed at this point.
Oh, strap in, Ball. We're far from done here. the defensive side of Ascent has provided many a comeback. So EG are not just going up against history, but they're also going up against statistics.
Caution here.
Dart out from Nas where there's nobody on this site right now.
They cleared out the dart, but they still had 3 members tagged.
I mean, it's ridiculous that Leviatán is actually having 4 ghosts right now. They're trying to get those spams through the smoke.
Demon 1 is so weak. Taco's stuck behind the other side of the wall. Look at the positioning.
Here.
Do they have anything to clear him out? Door finally dropped. Demon 1 waiting for Taco to peek around, to swing through. And he's just so hesitant about it. He still hasn't gotten out. He's so patient about it. Lets Mazzino get into a spot where he can challenge, but Demon 1 drops him. Now Bustio off of the flash, tries to get a kill. And King takes care of him. Kills continuing to go back and forth as EG are just down to 2.
They're running out of time here, Doug.
2 might work. It's just Jogamo, but he has 5 HP.
They get half. So
He's got to stop that. Oh my gosh, that was so close. That was so close. But Lev takes the pistol.
Turret out.
The way these two teams have played this series in the pistol round is just something to behold. A lot of really nice ideas from both sides. And we do go 3 for 3. On all 3 maps, we trade pistols. So Leviatán with a chance. Now on this defensive side. We've seen it before. We've seen it so often. This is the map with probably the most 9-3 curses outside of early split.
Placing sentry.
This defensive-sidedness of this map and the stagnation of the compositions have made things tough for the attack. And it's not like Leviatán was lacking for ideas on attack. You saw so many solid executes. It's just the holds out of EG even stronger. The protocols are just drilled to a T.
Juggling the orb, ultimately getting it into the hands of Ethan. Now 1 step closer to having that null command. Mazzino jump spotting finally sees something. Just a pixel, but it's enough to draw out the smoke, the swing,
wow.
and the kill.
Look how deep that smoke is, too. Kind of trying to split them up without a nade. Nade falls on Cat instead, and the one-way gives Taco an easy kill. That does leave a gap in the smoke coverage, but they re-peek together. I mean, that's just so nice.
Here.
Those little details right there. That's the type of thing that makes this defensive side so easy to follow up on.
Well, I think it's also, I mean, a testament to Leviatán, right? And they've been pushed. They've been pushed pretty considerably here in this series against a team that nobody expected them to be pushed by, but you still see these glimpses of these minor nuances, and you go, yeah, that's why they're legit. That's why people were so high on the squad. It's the little things.
And the funny part is, we mentioned, there was some frustration on some of the players, but for the most part, it's calm over there. It doesn't look like they're about to lose a must-lose or a must-win series. It doesn't look like that at all. They look totally happy with the situation in front of them. Here's the bonus. 4 Spectres, 1 Guardian. Taco's up close. There's 2 players bottom mid.
It's by himself. The drone doesn't see him.
What?
Oh, the drone doesn't see him.
Oh, no.
Patience.
Smoke dash 2, and he's away.
Thought he
Might get shocked here, actually.
He doesn't take a lick of damage. I thought he was going to consider picking up the alarm or the Vandal or something, but
Yeah, beautiful movement.
yeah. Very well done. Remember here, this is a bonus for Leviatán. Feels like an ominous one at that. Spike not committed. Demon 1 dead. It's a deep alarm bot left by Bustio. And you still have the turret to cover as well.
Revealing area.
Placing sentry.
So dart for
30
A while he
seconds
goes
left.
for the lurk right here. Lands on top of the crane. But his Mazzino is getting the spam kills.
King was spotted too, but
Com's gonna go for it. He gets 1. They're getting back into this right now with the Vandal advantage.
Nosler's trying to keep him back though.
One
14
enemy
seconds.
That's a big
10
kill.
seconds left.
He's gonna upgrade a weapon now. Ethan's weak. Busio.
They're both falling off site. Look, there's no smoke available right now.
Ahead.
And the worst part about that dart is it clears sight, yes. But it doesn't clear dark.
No utility left.
He doesn't care.
I respect this so much. What a loony. But once again, the timing up from EG. You can almost hear him counting down. 1, 2, 3, swing.
Yep.
Can't use that yet.
And the great part about that is they made that decision so fast. I mean,
Yep.
both of those players, Ethan and Com, I believe, in the 2v1. As soon as you had Noswork get that final kill, sorry, not Com, Com was the guy lurking mid. As soon as Noswork took him down, they said, okay, there's so much time here. Let's get off site. There's no smoke available. We could easily double swing this. And he has so much room to clear. Ethan with the KO right now, and there's no anti-KO. There's one Molly on the other side of the map. But you actually have Shy anchoring on the site, so this Molly's not going to be there.
Ult used instantly. And they still managed to take care of some of that. They still get the dart down. They still get some smokes down from far away, but they're in trouble. They have no util to keep them alive now. How quickly do EG funnel? How quickly do they flood?
3 backside is ridiculous to clear.
There's a lot that's going back and forth. Threw it to 2v2, but Ethan's ahead of it. He's fast. King now here. Mazzino as well.
They have double flash here. Big paranoia.
Last player
He's dead.
standing.
Ethan is too. Quick response from Leviatán.
Almost identical situation to what happened on that first half. Leviatán looking very good. I mean, that fast retake, dealing with that no command. I thought it was gonna be trouble, but all 3 backside is, I mean, it's bold.
Down B.
It felt like every single player there got 3 or got 1, but it was Noswork with 2 in the corner. And EG lost track of the fact that there could even be 3 back there. A lot of times you're like, okay, we killed 2.
Surely
You're
there's
in your
not-
mind, you're okay, the other 1 player's playing mid, 2 players are playing A.
Yeah.
So in a sense, they actually did have an anti-KO setup. 10-6, lead cut to 4.
Taco with op. Mid-map has blades too. Meanwhile, a light bite from EG. This time it's Busio with the Guardian.
Oops.
Big kill out from Taco.
Scanning ahead.
2 for 4 first kills before that. He was definitely struggling to get something done on that first half just because of how much he's relied on to go super fast in the site to make space.
And that he did. I mean, he tried. Ran his head into a brick wall. It's a really nice drone. A decent amount of it.
He just walked out the smoke.
He didn't have a gun at the beginning of the round, by the way.
This is, this is an eco.
Revealing
Looks
area.
like it
From
was
Noswork.
handed over to him. Noswork once again, backside.
Great smoke for him to assist. They can't jump through this.
He was flashed.
And Taco's on the side.
Still backside with blades. Spike out of reach. Bustio's weak. And Bustio's dead.
Is he gonna right click there? That's disgusting from Taco.
Bold with it. Leviatán looking to wrap up the round as cleanly as they can and get themselves to 7. It's just Jogamo who's here with the classic, and King cleans him up.
Huge props to Mazzino there. That smoke bought so much time. I know Noswork didn't end up getting all 3 kills of the players jumping off lane. But right here, I mean, you can see how much they were not ready to jump through. And that gives all the time for Taco to flood. That gives all the time to King to get down lane here. Even if Taco goes down, he's trading that last kill. And we're down to 3. Started at 6. Now we're at 3. This defensive side, I mean, it's just so good. It's so lopsided.
Now we're seeing that on full display here.
And by all means, by the way, EG, that first half was good. That was a good first half.
Early Hunter's Fury from Noswork.
I mean, they broke the dart, and he still goes for it. And he misses Jogamo, so no damage, no value at all. Remember, Com had a massive one to find a kill off an alarm bot last time. I didn't spot anything, and it actually doesn't break the drone either.
They are pushing into him though, and he does have ult. But what's the cue for contact? There it is, the flash. Now counter Hunter's Fury used, but instantly
He got
denied.
suppressed. He popped it after the no command was popped. He didn't realize the range.
Perhaps the timing on it either way doesn't have it this time. Demon 1 on the swing, and he's dropped. Leviatán holding the line once again. Defensive side of Ascent stands true.
I'll be fine.
Down to 2. Only one round won for EG on this attack so far. Just the anti-bonus when they have that advantage. Since then, it's been lights out for Leviatán, much like we saw from EG.
Spike down A.
Keep bringing it back to this, but is it happening? Is EG about to lose the opportunity to close out another upset win? They just haven't made it work yet.
Don't worry. I'll keep them quiet.
Placing
Get out of my way!
Early blades used.
Eco round. So we're Demon to pop those. You think they put a lot of value on this round, importance on it.
We've seen just how gross they can be with these sheriffs as well. They have 3 in hand.
But it's good there from Shy not to peek with that turret contact. A lot of times you want to be doing that, but here, you don't want to give up a gun.
He's patient.
Wow, he got tagged by that? That's unlucky.
Hunting, and again, patience, bro. Shy, once again, playing safe.
Drone into mid. Blue still has a lineup for something here.
And the knife cancels out the drone. Calm intending to find some space with the info gathering utility, and he cannot.
Yeah, you could see. I mean, he's struggling to get value out of some of the utility. That drone getting canceled by King is just so nice.
It's going to be a dart once again.
It's the same thing for the lurk.
Yeah.
That landed up top above Mazzino. Will he be ready to break it this time?
Early spam from Mazzino, and they don't look good. Demon one's weak. I mean, they're all dead again.
Spike down
They're all dead
A.
again.
Taco is so good at floating to heaven here. I mean, we mentioned the double peek from them last time. And here is again with the op. We're down to 1. I mean, how fast did this happen? How fast did this all fall apart? And remember, I mean, EG's calling a timeout right now, but Leviatán doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Owner already used both in that first half.
The second one used, yeah, right at the end of the first half.
It's crazy how much confidence he had in this defensive side for his team. And remember, that last timeout did lead to a final round win on the half. If it wasn't for that, it would have been a 10-2.
And it's just crazy to think that 9-3 half potentially might not be enough. Right? And then you go into the nuance and you go, well, maybe is 10-2 enough? And you, once again, go back to the timeout call, the decision that owner made at the end there, and go, well, that was bloody brilliant. I mean, that could have saved the map.
Been in this situation so many times for EG. At lock-in, multiple attack side throws, multiple attack side woes, the loss to Talon to send them home. That one haunts them. Early on in the season, it was the same thing. And now within 1, I mean, we're back in it. Leviatán is back in it. Leviatán back to thinking they're not going to lose this situation, which he didn't really consider at the beginning of the series.
Nope. This is just crazy.
Even if we've seen the recipe too.
This is just crazy.
Taco has a Vandal and an op here, or excuse me. I'm lunching all over the place. I thought King had an op there. Either way. Odin now the first one for Nosworth. You might see that classic Leviatán spam round in the near future. Big ults to work with from EG. This is it. This is the swing round that they're looking for.
Can Taco stop the swing?
Here.
The timing! Oh, the timing! I thought he was gonna get swung right on the spot.
They're pressuring both sides of the map at the same time. Remember what Sean said there in the telestrator, how much pressure this puts on. Now lockdown in B main. KO up mid, that's gonna suppress everybody on the map.
Deep flash into back sight. Meanwhile, the ult from Jogamo into back B.
And there's freedom here with the lockdown. Keeping everybody out. Molly into the smoke. They can't flood. Mazzino smoked the turret.
Dropped.
It's not going to spot him. But Calm is looking at it.
And Bustios close by as well. Oh, I thought that was 2. Holy smokes. 4v4 left. Nazar still with the Odin. They're all going to be funneling out from backside as the spike ticks away.
Demon 1 in market.
Jogamo trying to find some space in between the smokes. And
enemy
does.
remaining.
Caution here.
Nas, we're just down to 1, and EG up to 11.
That was it. That was the swing round. 2 big ults used. I mentioned in the first half, that lockdown KO ult combination. It's a free sight every time. And they go for a split, a little twist, to get themselves post-plant positions too. A nice idea from Mazzino. That could have changed everything. If Busio goes down there,
It almost does.
that might end the game, honestly.
Yep. Back within 2 is Leviatán. Op still in the hands of Taco. No
Picking off
ults
the
to
cat.
speak of this time. Shy's close, and you're right. Touches a knife. Ethan spotted and dropped.
Spike down.
Spam not gonna land.
It's interesting, Taco always going for the updraft, paired up with the dash, which low-key could cost him. I mean, I'm surprised Demon One's not able to get that shot. He's such a beast. But early kill on Ethan. Ethan is pivotal to all of these hits. And you're actually just about to drone when King's about to get his knife back up. 15 seconds, so he's good, but that nade cancels it. Still gets tagged. They still clear up close cat.
King using flash to try to clear out tree.
This A-hold has been phenomenal for Leviatán. I would be shocked
suppressed.
to see EG go towards this side. They use a paranoia. They push them off of tree.
The alarm bot giving some of the position away.
I mean, what is this turn?
It's aggressive. It's deep.
It's cutting off the rotates. He's definitely going to want to try to fight. They're going to the safe side. Mazzino still has his flash, but Taco has to hold back towards mid, given the threat of the flank from Bustia.
There.
You were just mentioning how
30
good the
seconds
A-hold
left.
has been. It's gonna have to be good again. It looks like they're leaving Bustio here to control flanks either which way. King's the first to fall. Taco's here and he's got the op. Mazzino's paranoia is good, but his shots were not. It's all into Taco here. Playing a little safe.
Bustia got one on the flank too, on the rotate.
10
That shot
seconds
darts a
left.
bit deeper, but it sails
Spike
right over his
planted.
head. And now Taco can creep out.
Bustia's running away from Nazwa right now. Leviatán are going to try to save because of Bustia's pressure.
No chance.
Walking back over towards it. They don't have enough time anymore. And EG are going to get up to match point now.
Unreal.
What a nice strat. What a nice idea. Bustio just running up mid, getting the turret, and he's able to play off that so beautifully.
The turret to control backside, the alarm bot to make sure no one's pushing in from market, and then him controlling mid-map, right?
Yeah.
Just spotting it himself.
Yeah, crazy. What putting the lurking character on the lurking role will do. I mean, Com tried to get the same amount of pressure on
Yeah.
in previous rounds, in previous iterations. You can just swing off the turret. And EG
Match point.
on the precipice. One more round to close out the series. One more round to finally complete the upset that they've been hunting for almost all season. In Super Week, they made 2 attempts. 2 major attempts at the South American squads. The Brazilians, it was last week.
And now a chance at Leviatán to be so close, so often, and to fall so short. But again, the opportunity to do it here.
I wonder if it's setting in now for Leviatán
Here.
that they might lose this series. I wonder if that pressure is going to infuse a sense of need in the players, in Taco, in King. I mean, how many big moments have we seen from these guys? How many times have they stepped up and clutched out insane moments in VCT history?
Alarm bot clear, just exploratory here, drawing off. Taco now has to try to hold mid-map with the op.
From what came in, we came into this thinking this is not an important match. We came into thinking this is going to be meaningless. All of a sudden, there's so much riding on this. For both sides, EG potentially starting a miracle run. Leviatán might actually end up at risk at the end of it all. 1 round away for EG.
30 seconds left.
Com throwing a fake dart towards A. They're faking this A side. This is beautiful. It's only Shy here. Lockdown popped.
Nasser wanting to peek ahead of the smoke. You can see it. He's tempted and he's rewarded. Can Shy hold the line? Given the help that he has from Nosworth, 34 HP, 11 seconds left. They've got to get the spike down soon. And Shy's still alive! That's the round!
How in the world have they just pulled that off? EG with the beautiful call. I mean, perfect. Finding Shy alone on the site, breaking so much of the utility early on, and pulling all 3 A players to stay when their rotation is so key. King died there. There's no flashback here. You asked for heroics, and you get it. Leviatán still holding on.
I still don't know how we got that second kill on Decom.
They've actually left Shy alone here on the B site. EG have been focused on that area. They're gonna go, oh, he got knifed. He's trying to dash up mid with a paranoia, but they're still making it work somehow.
It's just Shogamo. He's here. I mean, he's stuck. He's trapped.
Oh my
He
goodness.
still gets one and gets away. While Shy falls, that's the sight.
But there's still the spike on this side. Taco gonna get droned out.
Hunter's Fury. Taco waiting, expecting the swing. The ult from Nosworth not finding a ton of value. He falls too. It's all on to Taco in a 1v5, and he cannot do it. Demons defied, disaster denied. EG take down Leviatán.
The North Americans seem to be a heel in the side of the Latin American stars. Leviatán fall again, but EG, what a win. It finally happens. They've gotten so close so many times. And they've done it. Like you said, defied expectations. That was a beautiful game of Valorant on both sides.
It really was.
But EG particularly. So many moments too that are just so cool. We asked for heroics. Leviatán went for a pocket strat. And I mean, how brutal must it feel to get knifed when you're going for a paranoia dash? I mean, the double push from A main as well. But you saw it all go to chaos in those final moments. Everybody peeking Demon 1.
We started with scrap and we ended with scrap. Oh, and the pop-off from Boostio.
Huge emotions on a team that's had so much pressure put upon them. So much commentary. And they get a standing ovation here at the Riot Games Arena.
Well deserved.
They're still processing, man. Unfortunately, the path ahead is just still so brutal. Might have gotten a win here. But that only puts them even.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier than that. Or it doesn't get much easier, excuse me.
They now have Sentinels, MIBR, and NRG. They've got to go through the remaining NA teams for them. And also MIBR in the mix. I mean, this is very doable for them to get 3 wins. I mean, if they win over Leviatán like that, it's very doable. 3 wins would put them very well within the confines of a playoff berth. And all of a sudden, you're thinking they could potentially go a little further.
Which is just crazy to think about. I mean, just speechless. Speechless indeed. Coming up, we will have the breakdown from the desk and the Verizon post-match interview. Once again, EG takedown Leviatán. Don't go anywhere.
Came through with it again. They know that I got spirit with a pen. Don't know why they try to compete when they know that in victory it's never gonna end. Them and a week, that's why they could never speak. They ain't like me, I take it to the peak. Different type of steeds that I breed. Wheel up on the mic, they won't get one of these. please. I don't wanna hear no talk from them. I don't wanna see nothing at all from them. They can't do it like me. So all I wanna see really is a round of applause from them. Vibes in the air, we caused it again. Life isn't fair, but we rode it again. All of my teams being ready for the war, there's no warning for them. Tell them again, I ain't here to make up no friends. I just came through yet again. We look, you never got one of them. Top of the pound yet again. They can't stop this child not again. Reigning champ, I won't lose it. So you know I'm gonna win that again. Tell them again. Tell them again. Tell them again. Tell them again. I ain't here to make up no friends. I just came through yet again. We look, you never got one of them. Top of the pile yet again. They can't stop this child not again. Reigning champ, I won't lose it. So you know I'm gonna win that again. Tell them 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 again. I ain't here to make up no friends. I just came through yet again. We look, you never got one of them. Top of the pile yet again. They can't stop this child not again. Reigning champ, I won't lose it. So you know I'm gonna win that again.
Welcome back to the Verizon post-match interview. I'm standing by with Boostio, who has had a few moments to exhale and take in what just took place. But I've got to ask you, dude, you guys came so close to pulling off an upset so many times. And it honestly, it kind of felt like this one was going to slip away as well, but you pull it off. How do you feel right now?
Yeah, it feels really good to get our second win against Leviathan. I think they're one of the better teams in the league right now, too. So it's a really good win for us. It keeps us all in playoff contention, which is also really good. So I'm just happy.
Given the late ferocious attempt at a comeback from Leviatán, and given the fact that they were on the defensive side and how often that tends to swing, the map tends to swing that way, was there a moment when you guys thought, oh no, not again?
No, there definitely wasn't a moment. Ascent felt really, just that defense half was really good for us. We were very confident going into the attack half. So there was no motions of like doubt of winning that match.
Can you tell me a bit about the preparation going into Split? I think there were a lot of really cool things that both of you guys tried, but EG has developed its reputation for being very anti-stratty and expecting what the other team is going to want to do and play around that. Was there anything in particular that you saw in Leviatán's approach to Split that you were able to lean into and expose?
I think if you ever like see the Astra somewhere else that's not B, then you just know the Jet's there. So that's a pretty easy tell. But besides that, we haven't it wasn't that much counter stratting. Just we kind of played our own game plan for that Split map. So, but that's one of the things.
And you mentioned you and I were chatting right before the interview started, and you just said you guys don't feel like you're good at Pearl. But Leviatán, we're 4-0 in Pearl, now 5-0 at Pearl. Do you feel like that's one that got away from you, or you know, what did you think about that map just in general?
I definitely think we could have won it because our Pearl is not bad, like in scrims, but for the last 2 or 3 stage matches, it just, I don't know, something happens where we're not playing how we normally do. So I think we're good at it. We could have won it, but I mean, they were playing better that map.
it again is their playground. Last question that I have for you. You guys take care of Leviatán, and the standings are just in disarray at this point. I don't know that there's very little that's clear, and you guys still have a pretty tough road ahead of you, but there's all of a sudden there's hope. There's a spark. You guys can make a deep run at this thing. What is it that you need to take away from this series, carry it on into the next 3 maps to ensure success?
Yeah, I think this series, it just felt like our communication was just so much better. Everyone was talking, literally everyone, dead comms, agent names, a lot of things just going well for us this series. So I think if we keep that up, then we could beat any team.
Unreal. Again, congratulations on the win against Leviatán. Go enjoy with the team. I'm sure it's well deserved. We're going to throw it back to the desk to close out the day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Douglas, as Evil Geniuses gets a very well-deserved, well-earned win over Leviatán of all teams. But, you know, Doug brought up a great point in the interview. It was interesting to hear Busio, excuse me, that's your fault. Busio's, opinion there. They have been here so many times in the past, Sean. It's nice to see them finally close it out because you know that they had that potential to do so.
It's such a feels-good moment to see EG finally close out one of these Map 3 games against one of the top teams in our region. I can't even believe they played all these top teams so close. They deserve one of these wins. But on the other side of things, you have to feel a little bit bad for Leviatán, right?
Yeah.
That puts everyone right in this grinder for the playoffs, and only 4 of these teams are going to make it. Loud and Cloud9 are already through after today, so I mean, the spots are going to come very hard for these last 4 teams. There's so many teams.
It's going to be difficult, but it is still doable, and that's what's important. Hope is alive in the EG camp, and this was more impressive than the other series for me because map number 1 relied on a comeback, them rallying in the second half to close things out, and map 3 was the same case where EG started really strong, and then it looked like they were going to let this one slip away against Leviatán, but in those last few rounds, EG kept their mental in check and rallied through. But rewinding to the first half, it was insane how dominant this defensive side was for EG. Leviatán honestly looked so much scrappier than normal. You see that playing A main where no one's clearing Ethan, where they're going for these site execs and leaving a gap for a player from EG to find one of these big moments. And in particular, the retakes were just hitting for the squad.
Like you said, the big moments. I felt like EG played this 3rd map with the confidence they've been playing the first maps with in the last couple best of 3s they've played. Prior games, like against Fury and Loud, they faltered in that 3rd map. They weren't as confident in taking the duels. But today, even in that last round, Demon 1 took B main and aggressively came out of market as an attacker with an op. Like, they just did not care. They knew they were the more skilled team in the server today, which is crazy to think about when these 2 teams match up.
And you still had some of those moments where you could see the game plan and the preparation from this team. Blizzard said it was mostly playing their own game. And I think they still had some of the gimmicks that they're known for, like that alarm bot into the Hunter's Fury catwalk setup. Even for a map like Ascent, which is kind of stale in the composition, they still find ways to implement gimmicks on top of improving their fundamentals, which was the big issue with Ascent in the past.
Yeah, and you saw that in a lot of the plays they had, right? Whether it's the awkward off angles that they were playing off of or whatever. Actually, Ethan, a good example of that. And we'll talk about Ethan here because he had a few big hero plays in that Ascent matchup. You can see it's reflected there in the stats. That boy on KO was frying. But really, I think Ethan is a player that oftentimes, Sean, doesn't get spoken about nearly as much, even though he comes with quite the pedigree, a lot of experience, but yet he kind of seems to fade into the shadows on this roster.
Yeah, I think his roles were a little bit questioned when he first entered this team, but now that he's back in this initiator role, he has so much impact when it comes to using his utility, so many years of experience as far as how people move around the map in these 5v5 tac shooters. I see him get tons of value with the guiding lights, and then on KO, the knives, obviously, the flashes for his teammates, and mollies to stall out hits on Ascent. He's just a great player.
And his experience, I'm sure, is also invaluable to this EG squad because everyone else is super young, super new. This is really their first time playing consistently on LAN, on a big stage in VALORANT. Ethan's done that tons of times before. So him being strong as an individual, good with the utility, and bringing that veteran presence is really big for EG.
Yeah, and right now, whatever's working for Ethan and EG, clearly, the proof is in the pudding. They walked away with the dub. Keep doing it. But it was a game that was a tale of 2 halves, right? In the first half, you had EG just full control, dominating. But then we get into the second half, and Mimi, it did feel like this is where Leviatán were like, nope, this is how we do it. This is our protocols. This is how we play the game. And even though EG did have some breakout moments and ultimately won it, you still got to give them credit for, at the very least, making this one competitive in that second half.
The casters were talking about it, but Leviatán didn't look phased after losing 9-3. They came back in, played to their game plan well. The site anchors were doing a fantastic job, and the flood retakes were on point as well for Leviatán, which, again, I think it makes it all the more impressive that EG ended up closing that one out. Because for me, it wasn't like in that second half, Leviatán was really falling apart. I actually felt like they were playing quite solid.
Yeah, I was scared. I think we all thought EG was losing that game.
Yeah.
In the second half,
because we thought history was going to repeat itself.
When the comeback was happening for Leviatán, those rounds were going to come very hard for EG, and they made the plays to make them happen. That's what I'm saying. They were very confident in those rounds, and the way they called was a very confident style. They were just doing sight hits, nothing crazy like the round I broke down for Leviatán. It wasn't some gorgeous get map control everywhere. No, they were running it down B with a KO ult, run it down B on pistol, and their last round they won. Again, they just kind of mid-round into B and then pushed out into mid.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
It is. It's. I don't want to say it's frustrating, but it's a little surprising to see that was the result of Leviatán. But I'm sure that they're going to go back. Owner's not going to let them live that one down, and they're going to be back in the lab. Owner isn't going to let them live that one down because of the standings. That's right, folks.
Segue.
Look at this. Oh, yeah. Isn't it fun when we can't figure out what the playoff picture is?
Every week we're like, oh, guys, trust me, bro. After this week, we're going to know the standings. We're going to know who's making playoffs. And it's just one upset. Throws everything off again. Leviatán is still technically fourth, but now they're tied 3-3 with NRG and 100 Thieves, who NRG just beat. Like, it is absurd that we don't have a clear picture of who's going to make it besides Loud and Cloud9 right now.
I mean, it's crazy because Leviatán, like you said, they fell to 3-3. They still have to play Loud and Cloud9, the two top teams.
Yep.
That is a brutal loss.
Ideally, if you're Leviatán, you'd want to be 6-0 here to get ready for those two games because I
didn't even realize that. Like, there is a there's a real possibility Leviatán doesn't make playoffs.
Yes.
And we were talking about them as like a top 3, top 4 team.
Yeah, that was a serious game that just happened where EG stole one right from Leviatán, and now Leviatán is in the hot seat, and they're gonna have to win against a team that they're likely gonna be underdogs against.
And they don't have the game matchup win over NRG either. It's going to be crazy for the rest of this one. But tomorrow also probably has a little less implications. It's the 5-0 team versus the 0-5 team of Loud and Crew.
Very true. I know that we've always been framing the EG games as David versus Goliath matchups, and they have been. But when you look at the standings, you're actually looking at a legitimate David and Goliath situation. The team in last versus the team in first. But do you think, though, Sean, that we are potentially going to see Crew kind of get that moment that EG have gone, or are we too far gone this season? What do you make of it?
I'm going to say we're too far gone, but there's only 3 teams that have ever beat Loud, and Crew is one of them.
Crew's one of them.
They got that going for them.
Copenhagen, they knocked them down to the lower bracket. That's when Loud got grouped. I'm not saying there's a chance because I don't think there is, but maybe there's a chance because maybe there could be.
Yeah. See,
that's
that's why you guys need to tune in tomorrow, because if there's one thing we've learned about VCT Americas is that there's always a chance. But thank you guys so much for watching today. 2 excellent games, 2 wild results. Whether you were an EG fan or you were hoping for Leviatán to pull off that win, well, you're going to have to wait till next week to see those 2 teams square off yet again. But thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for our Monday matchup. It's Loud versus Crew. See you then.
If Loud loses, that's just crazy.
Their Crew beam is too high.
The playoff picture is starting to take shape, and it's do or die if you want to make top 6. Cloud9 versus Sentinels is about to go down. For one squad, it's about maintaining your place near the top of the mountain, and for the other one, it's about clawing your way back to the position that you believe and that your fans believe you belong in.
To the choke point, holding these angles, gliding forward to Seekers, they're all blinded up, and they cannot stand a chance.
Let's go, boys, let's go. Good comms, good every round.
It's all being utilized to try and push them back. Okay, one shot landed, rocket flies forwards. No kills to be claimed, yet Zephyr still holding it. 16 health and a dream, and guess what? It manifest. It's going to be falling any moment now, spraying through. Laid it down, and Pancana just was not. He didn't know. 13 rounds versus the 4 that Sen picked up, and map 1 is theirs. All it takes is a couple of shots to find their mark, yet wow, lined them all up and beaming them all down. They're in a close corners fight. Still, White to swing their marks out in the open. No one else to help him, and they've lined them all up. Zephyr drops them all down, 4 kills. Tower, Prowler, Satchel, rolling Thunderdome, it's mating them. Stunned dead, they're all grouped up. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. 13-6. And that's a series taken by Cloud9. They are sitting firmly on the top of that throne of North America. They have bested every other North American team in the Americas split.
It's yet another David and Goliath battle for evil geniuses as they look to take on Leviatán. But perhaps, if history has taught us anything, maybe EG might have that dog in them to be able to take a map, maybe even the series, against a very game Leviatán.
That gives up the plant, but gets him the kill.
Oh, and he's spotted.
Demon, hello? Where's the call? Where's the comms?
Taco's just gonna have a field day with this. Yep, Jogamo's mobility not enough. The movement not good enough. It's just on.
Oh, the head!
Remember, he still only has a stinger. He's got it down to a 1v1. Oh, the weapon's not great, but the timing is! What the f? They had their chance at it. He dips out of the pit. What can King do? EG take map 1.
Grouped up with Loud. Nice spam, though. They actually find Demon 1 going for it. And it's a 2v2 all of a sudden. They're locked down to the back of sight, too. That Spike has to recover it and get out.
Sectioned off by 1. The code keeping Taco alive. The Guardian is just too good in a situation like this against Classics. What can you possibly do? Taco with 3. We're going the distance. It's going to be Nazru who's going to survive.
Oh, my goodness.
It's just Nazru who's healthy. 1 shot dart. Clean shot from Com. I don't know that they're going to be expecting. Oh my gosh, they had no idea! Ethan makes a meal out of Leviatán!
Anything for a dub.
Nas, we're just down to 1, and EG up to 11. Demons defied, disaster denied. EG take down Leviatán.